What is up, guys? This is Aiden, and welcome back to another movie review. Today, we are going to be reviewing the brand new Dracula film, Dracula, directed by Luc Besson. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. Besson. It stars Caleb Landry Jones, Zoe Blue, and Christoph Waltz. Right off the bat, I'm just going to say Christoph Waltz. I am a huge fan of his. He definitely pulled me into this movie when I saw that he was in it in the trailer. I was like, I had to see it. I'm a huge fan of this guy. From everything he did with the Quentin Tarantino movies, Django, he was the Jew hunter in Inglourious Bastards. Those are some of my favorite movies of all time. So whenever I see Christoph Waltz in a film, I just have to see it. The other actors in this film, Caleb Landry Jones, I don't really remember him from anything. I looked up his filmography, and he was in Get Out, and I do slightly remember him in Get Out. He played a small part as like the brother of the crazy family, but besides that, I don't really remember this guy at all. And then Zoe Blue, if I'm saying that right, she is the main female in this movie, and I've never seen her ever. I've never even heard of her. She doesn't even have a picture on her Wikipedia. And Luc Besson, the director of this film, he directed Lucy as well a couple years back. He has a pretty long filmography. I haven't seen too many of his films, but let me say in this film, he did very well. This film turned out to be one of the biggest surprises for me in a long time. From start to finish, this was a very strong movie. It was very emotionally gripping. The performances were outstanding. The cinematography, the set design, the sound, the score, everything about this movie was really, really good. And I know it came out last year in France, and it just came out in North America 2 days ago on Friday. So it's been out for a little bit, but this movie wasn't really on my radar. I knew it was coming out. I knew it had Christoph Waltz in it. I didn't really know what to expect. I was kind of like, it's just going to be another adaptation of Dracula. There's like 60 adaptations of Dracula. It's just going to be another regular vampire movie. I really didn't think it was going to be that great, and I watched the trailer, and I was like, this would be decent enough, a decent, February romance type of movie. But I was wrong. This movie was outstanding. Now, I'm really not all that familiar with Dracula movies. I know that there is a lot of them, and I haven't really seen that many of them. I'm not really a big vampire person. My favorite vampire movies are probably the Blade trilogy, but besides that, I just can't really get into it. I thought Nosferatu was really good, and this film reminded me of Nosferatu. Like the setting and the cinematography, and even the storyline was pretty similar. Besides that, I'm just not a vampire person, especially with Twilight. I fucking hate Twilight. You can miss me with that shit. But I do definitely have a soft spot for gothic fantasy, Victorian time, period pieces for film. I think that those are some of the coolest movies out there. It's my favorite cinematography shots. Basically, the premise of this movie, it shows Dracula before he becomes a vampire. It starts off like 400 years ago. He's this prince of this castle, and he leads this army, and he's going to war with this other side. They don't really explain who the other side is that he's going to war with, whether it's like another, I don't know, civilization or country or whatever. He's going to war, and he has this wife that he loves a lot. They show it. There's a lot of like sexual scenes in the beginning. Like the first 5 minutes is just them fucking basically. But you could tell that they love each other. And the first 15 minutes of this movie is fucking insane. So much shit happens in the first 15 minutes. This is one of the strongest opening acts that I remember in a long time. So much shit happens and so much cool shit goes down that it really grabs you and makes you really interested right away. And you want to find out more of what's going to happen in the story. Like right away, and they're having sex the first couple minutes of the movie, and then they go into this huge battle scene with like crazy choreography, and there's like first person POV camera shots. People are getting sliced. There's this fucking fire everywhere, and there's this really cool shot at the end of the battle where Dracula and all of his army like come over this hill, and they're like in the distance, and they cover up this hill, and then there's just like fire all behind them in the background. That shot was really cool to me. But then it turns out that these people Dracula's fighting, they ambush his wife and they fucking kill her, and he just goes off the walls. He goes and kills the Pope, and then God damns him and makes him a vampire for all of eternity. And that all happens within the first 10-15 minutes of the movie. And then the film fast forwards 400 years. And the rest of the film is Dracula trying to find his long-lost wife, because apparently after she dies, her soul was so pure that God would like reincarnate her to another person. So he's waiting and searching for 400 years to find her, basically, is the premise. And I mean, I knew this movie, it's a romance. It's February. It's supposed to be emotional, but this was actually like a seriously emotional movie. And it's weird because you think of Dracula, at least when I do, and I think of like a bad guy, a bad vampire. This film actually makes you root for him. There's two sides to this film, but there's really no bad guy. You got Christoph Waltz, who's this priest who has been studying vampires for all these years, and he knows Dracula's out there, and he knows Dracula's purpose, but they're trying to track him down. Then they finally do, and then they're trying to stop him from completing his quest of finding his reincarnated wife. Then you got Dracula, who, yes, he's a vampire, and yes, he's turning people into vampires, but he's literally just doing it out of love so he can feel love again, because he got that taken away from him at such a young age. And 400 years later, he's still searching, and you feel bad for him because he has like good intentions. Obviously, he's a fucking vampire. He's still making people vampires. He's not killing them. He's just letting them live for eternity. I guess that's not the worst thing, but you get very emotionally invested in his character very quick, and it lasts throughout the whole film. The performances in this film were outstanding. Caleb Landry Jones as Dracula, he did fantastic from start to finish. He shows a bunch of range of emotions. He's really angry one scene, he's really sad one scene, he's really happy one scene, he's really like, laid back and just watching things happen in a couple of scenes, and he just has such a different range of emotions, and he does them all very, very well. I was really impressed with his performance, because with a leading star like that, I didn't know much of this guy, and I think this film could potentially put him like on the radar. Like, this could be his breakout film because of how well he did. And all of the supporting cast were really good as well. Christoph Waltz is always good. I wish that his character had more screen time, but he's usually just a supporting character for the most part, so it makes sense. Zoe Blue was really good. There's this one chick, I don't know her real life name, but she plays like this psycho, crazy, sexually driven vampire, and she does a really good job in that. I thought that the pacing of this film was really, really good. None of the different sections of this movie, the different sequences, overstay their welcome. I feel like they're perfectly put throughout the whole movie to sequence everything together and pull the whole story together and make it all make sense for everybody. The only sequence I will say that maybe I could have went without is there's a sequence where Dracula like makes his perfume, and he's just making like all these girls do a bunch of stuff, and it's just a little bit silly, but it is for the plot. So once I realized how that tied into the plot, I was like, okay, I could deal with that. But the pacing really good. It's a 2-hour movie. I think that's perfect. I think it told everything that it needed to. It didn't leave anything on the table. And you definitely leave the film pretty satisfied. You may leave a little sad, but you're definitely satisfied with the product that you got. The set design and camera work and cinematography were awesome. The exterior shots of the castle, the harsh winter, like the moonlight showing. The inside of the castle really captured like the 1800s vibe. The pillars, the chandeliers on the wall, the extremely long dinner table. The makeup as well. Dracula in this. There's a couple scenes where he's 400 years old and he looks extremely fucking creepy and old, and he just looks scary as shit. I'm not gonna lie, like he looks nuts because he's 400 years old. I like that they did that too. They made like an aged vampire and then a younger self of him. That was also really cool. Now the one part of this film where I was like, come on. So basically they have to explain to you the backstory a little bit on Dracula and what he's been doing for 400 years at some point, right? So the way they do that is he's about to kill somebody, and he's like, what's your last wish, to the guy that he's about to kill? And the guy's like, when he's about to die, he's like, I want to hear your life story. And Dracula's like, oh shit, sit the fuck down then. Why didn't you say so? Let me tell you. And then he tells the story and it gives us all the information that we need. That would never happen in real life, by the way. But they had to do that. I think there's probably a different way they could have went about that. But whatever. You get the information you need. That is probably... That and the perfume scene. Those are the two parts where I was like, I don't know about that. But the rest of the movie's so fucking good that it doesn't matter. From start to finish, I was locked into this movie. It was so good. Like, emotionally, it's devastating. It's fucking... It's just great. Like, the performances, it's visually fucking amazing. Everything about this movie really impressed me. I was really satisfied. A movie that I wasn't all that excited to really go see. I was like, oh, this will just be another, regular vampire movie. No, this thing is like everything Twilight wished that it could be. And with Wuthering Heights coming out, I thought Wuthering Heights was easily going to be like romance of the year, romance epic. Like, this film, it's got Jacob Elordi, Margot Robbie. It's got all the money behind it. It's going to be like 2.5 hours long. I thought it's coming out on Valentine's Day. I was like, this is it. This is going to be the big romance of the year. Dracula, I think it's going to be right there, if not better. Maybe I'm a little biased because there's vampires in it, but this movie was so fucking good, and a lot of people that I know, they don't even know that this movie's coming out. They don't know anything about it. Like I said, the cast, besides Christoph Waltz, not very known. The director, not super known, besides Lucy. But this movie was easily like one of the biggest surprises I've had in recent memory. And I think that this could definitely crack the top 10 movies of the year for myself by the end of the year. So Dracula 2026, I would have to give it easily 4 out of 5 stars. I could have went 4.5, but I don't know. 4.5 is like really, really good. But this movie was very good. I left the theater like shocked by how good it was. And the ending, I'm not going to spoil anything, but you just have to see it for yourself. I highly recommend it. If you can see this in a theater, go see it in a theater. This is going to be the best way to experience this film. You could wait till it comes out on streaming. I don't know when it's going to, but I would say go see it as soon as possible, especially if you're into vampires, you're into Victorian era gothic. It's not gothic horror, but just gothic fantasy. Great movie. So yeah, guys, that's it. That's my review of Dracula. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any feedback, let me know in the comments down below or hit the subscribe button. I will see you guys later. Thank you for watching.